Hello and welcome back to yet another video of this playlist. As you can see in the background, I have just finished editing it, but while editing I noticed that I made a huge blunder in the intro of this particular project. So what I've decided is just to record it like this. So here it goes, the intro. This particular project is all about video games. We have analyzed a video game dataset, how the sales has fared up in European Union, North America, Japan, how the global sales have fared up in all the last 20 to 25 years, which year was dominating one, which game was dominating one, and so on and so forth. Keep in mind that this particular project I have decided to go at the advanced level of the coding. I have decided to create this particular project in two parts. So this is part one of the project. Part two, it is optional one, requires a heavy coding. I need you guys to let me know in the comment section down below whether you would want me to create a part 2 of this project. With that in mind, let us get going and see what the project is all about. Okay, so here I am in my Jupyter notebook, and you can see I already have this CSV file in my Jupyter notebook. That is, I have created a folder that is video game. You can create your own folder in wherever location that you'd want in your respective computers, and you can just copy paste that CSV file in that particular location. And in the same folder, I'm going to create a new notebook. I'm going to quickly call that as video games analysis. All right. Right away, let us start with some of the importing some of the libraries. I'm going to start with importing NumPy. I'll import Pandas. I'll import SciPy dot stat as st. I'll also import math. I'll import Matplotlib. I'll import Seaborn as SNS. Okay, so these are all the libraries. This is stats and not stat. So these are all the libraries that I'll be using. And if there is any other library that I should be using, maybe I'll be using standard scalar as well. So I'll import that. I'll import from scikit-learn dot preprocessing. I'll import standard scalar. All right, and then I'll import the data frame. I'll read the data frame using Pandas library. So pd.read_csv is going to give me vgsales.csv. Let me see some of the rows of this particular data set. There we go. So you have all these rows here. You can see Wii Sports, Super Mario's. I'm aware of that. Mario Kart and all this. Then we have Pokemon. What is the platform? That you have, and the year of the release, what is the genre, who published this, NSLs, I think North America sales, that is what is the meaning of this. All right, so we have North America sales, EU sales, and other sales. What is the global sales over here? All right, so these are all the information that is available to us. What I'm going to do is, if I check the info of this. Okay, so if you see this data, we have this data set, we have this columns. Rank is the rank of overall sales, then the name of the game, platform of the game released, year of the games released, genre, that is genre of the game, publisher of the game. In North America, what is the sales? In EU, what is the sales? And it is in millions. Just to be clear, the sales, all of them, they are in millions, right? And then you have this Japan sales. Then rest of the world sales are here, and the global sales here. Now, what I would like to do is try to see that is there any null values. Okay, so we have you can see the data type here, it is more or less, it is fine, right? You can explore this, but more or less it is fine. The rank is, you know, integer, name is string, platform is string, year is also floating number, genre and publisher, they are string, and rest of them they are floating number because all of them are numerical columns. So if I just check the df, it is null dot sum, and this is telling you that how many null values that you have in each of the columns. So there are 271 null values in the year column and 58 null values in platform columns. So this is what you have. It's a good news because we do not have much of the missing value. That means we are not losing that much of information. Now what we can do is just, you know, go ahead and drop all the null values. So I'll say df dot drop na, and I'm going to assign this to data. So I'm dropping all the null values here. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this one more time just to make sure that everything has worked out perfectly well. So I'll say this is data. There we go. There are no null values anymore in any of the column. Now let us go ahead with our analysis. First is, let us try to say what genre of the games have been the most. Alright, so what I'm going to do, basically what I want is the genre which is the most famous one. So I'll say genre, and I'll say dot value counts. Run that, and you can see that perhaps action is the one which is the most common, then the sports, then miscellaneous, role playing, shooter, adventure, and so on and so forth. So this is what you have. Now obviously you can be, you know, much more presentative. In this case you can say that rather than this kind of table, I can also plot this out. So I'll say sns.count plot, and I'll say x is the column name, that is genre, by the way this is capital G, and data is data. All right, and I'll also say that this is plt dot figure, and I'll say fig size is equal to 15 by 10. All right, so there we go. This is what you're getting. You can see action is much more better than others. All right, so most of the people, they love action and sports game, that is particularly 3251 and 2304. Well, let us try to say that, you know, try to find out which particular year had the most game release. All right, so same thing, what I have to do, I'll have to just take this, and instead of genre I'll try to put a year, and that will hopefully tell me that which year had the most games. There you go. All right, now it is very clumsy here. It is, you know, just too much crowded. So in that case, what you can do is just rotate the xticks. I'll say plt.xticks here. Then rotation is equal to 90, and this column. There we go. So you can see that this is 2008 and 9. As far as my memory serves, that is correct. This is when we had the most games being released. All right, so this is how it works. You can see on x-axis, this is telling you the number of games that were released. So it was almost about 1400 games. That is quite a lot of games in a year. Now how about, I mean, this is just not good enough. Why? Because it is just too much crowded. So what I would like to do is I would try to get the top 5 years games release, and I'll also put a genre. So genre wise, what are the top 5 years in all of them? So I'll copy this as it is. Here X is year, data is this, and then I'll just put a hue is equal to genre. However, this is where you'll have to be bit clever, right? It is, worse than other, because we are not getting top 5 years. I'm getting all the years separate of this genre. That is why it is so much confusing. So to fix this, what I'm going to do is, if you remember, I got this over here. All right, so I'll take this and I'll put it over here, and instead of genre, I'll put a year. Okay, so this is the year that you're having, and then I'll say I just want the top 5 values. Okay, there you go. And I do not want the numbers, I just want their index. Why that is? Because I'll copy this as it is, and here I'll say I want to order this that I created earlier. I'm going to order with this 5 years. So I'll paste this as it is. There we go. Now it is what we wanted always. Right, so you can see here in 2009, these are the genre that we have, and these are the games. These are the year that we have. So 2009, 2008, 2010, 7, 11. Right, so you can see that most of them, they were simulation game, apparently simulation and action games. Great, excellent. Now how about but my friend wants to understand that which is the best game out there, or should I say which year was the best for games, talking globally. So I'll try to ask which year had the highest sales worldwide. For that, I'll say that in fact, I'll copy this as it is again, make few changes. I'll copy this, paste here, and here this is no longer a count plot, this is a bar plot. On x-axis we have year, and on y-axis we have global sales. You run that. All right. Now quite a problem here, because the thing is, this is global sum for each of the year. What I'm going to do here is I'll say that I'll take the data and I'll do a group by. Okay, group by year, and I'll take the global sales and I will sum that up. There you go. Okay, so we are summing up all the sales revenue, so sales data of that particular year, and that I will put to data. I'll do one more thing. I'll reset the year. That is, I'll reset index. Reset index. It might not be possible in one step, but let us see. Yeah, it is possible. So this I'm going to assign as data year. All right. Why I've done that? Because I want to put that data that I've created, the data set, I'll put that over here. And now it is far more convenient to read. All right. So this is, perhaps 2008 was the best year, apparently. I'll just, try to scale down a bit. I'll say this is 8 by 4. Right. Much better. and maybe I can increase this. I'll put this as 6. Sorry, I'll have to increase this one. I'll put this as back to 4. Yeah, so much more better, right? So you can see that 2008 was the best, then 2009 apparently, then 2007, and so on and so forth. Now interestingly, year 2006 here, all right, it was not in the top 5 games apparently when you talk about the year, but it is in top 5 releasing year, if I am not wrong. Highest sales, well, not exactly. Yeah, it was not here. Yeah, correct. So 2006 was not in top 5 game releases per year, but it is in top 5 highest sell per year. So that is quite intriguing, right? When you do not have released the games as much, but still it is sales is much more than that. Anyway, let us try to understand that which genre game has been released the most in a single year. And for this one, I'll take a rather a complex coding, because we have been very almost we are doing the copy paste here. So I'll say take the data, which by the way happens to be this data set. In this, I want to do a group by. I'll do a group by on 2 things. One is year and another one is genre. All right, and this has to be capital G here, and this is dot size, and also I will reset the index name equal to count. Just to be clear, this is the, well, I made some mistake here. Yeah, this is reset index and not underscore index. There you go. Right, so you can see this, that in 1980 there was just one action game, 1980 again 4 miscellaneous game, 2016 38 sports game, and so on and so forth, right? So this is what you're getting. Now what I'm going to do here is I'll assign this to year max df. Why I've done that? Because I will take the same data frame one more time and I'll do a group by. This time the group by would be on year. All right, so this is year, and the aggregation, as you know, group by should have some sort of aggregation, but before that I'll just grab the count from this. Okay, but I'll transform max equal to year df count. All right, run that. Again, there's some issue here. There's this group by. Where is it? Group by. This group by. There you go. Right, so now we are getting this kind of a boolean value. What this is I'm just putting that as year max idx. All right, then I'm going to take this year max idx and I'll grab that particular position where I got the true values. There you go. So I'm getting all the maximum values for each of the genre by doing this. Now I'll say that I want to reset index now and say drop equal to true. If you do that, you can see that I'm now able to reset the index altogether. Thereby I'm having this 0, 1, 2, 3 in this manner. So I'm going to assign this as year max genre. All right, and this here is year max genre. I'll say drop duplicates. All right, why? Because if you check this out here, year max genre, you can see there are bunch of duplicated entries. Is there any? Yeah, you can see that it is having this sports and all that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say take this one and drop the duplicates. Drop duplicates of what? Duplicates of subset equal to year and count, and keep last. If you do that, you'll have the last values only, right? So for each of the year, I'm only getting the genre which were sold the most. Now what I'm going to do, this is I'm going to take this and say that dot reset index and drop equal to true. All right, and this is equal to, I'll say year this is in the next line, you'll have to say year max genre. Okay, next what I'm going to do is I'll say take this year max genre and by the way, run this. This is what I'm getting. Now I just want to get the genre out of it. Genre dot values. So run that. Now this is what I'm going to assign to genre. Notice the small case g. All right, now let us try to figure out try to understand that how year has gone through each of the genre. And again, I'm trying to increase the level of difficulty here. So I'll say g equal to sns dot bar plot, and it is going to take x equal to year, y equal to count, small case c, and data is year max genre. So this is what you're going to get. I've assigned this to g. I'll talk about that in a moment. But if I just take the figure size here, that will be very helpful. There you go. Okay, still not clear. Well, fix that in a moment. This is plt.axtix having a rotation of 90 degrees, and also say plt.show. There you go. Now it is much more clear. However, there's one more thing that I'll be doing here. What I'll do, I'll say that again, since I could have left it here itself, but again the point is to go at the advanced level as well. So I'll say for value in year max genre and count dot value. So what this is doing, this entire thing is going to give me an array of this, right? So for each of this value, I'm saying for each of the value, say G, which is the plot itself, and then put a text of index comma, don't worry, it will make sense in a moment, value plus 5, then string. I'm going to convert this string into genre, then index. So I'm grabbing each of the genre based on the index that I'm getting here, then plus some dashes I'll put, and I'll say plus string value. Then I'll say index is equal to, or should I say plus equal to 1, and I'll create index here as 0. Okay, and run that. There we go. Oh, there is a problem here. It is in horizontal direction, so I'll have to fix that as well. I'll say this is in this is rotation is equal to 90. Okay, rotation over here, well, it is again going out of the this. So the two ways that we can fix this is just increase the size of the figure itself. That should work, but again it is going too far off. So instead of doing that, I'll put this as 20 by 12 only. Right, much more readable. However, I'll have to fix this one. So for that, you can say size is, I'll say 14. Will that work? Not particularly. It is much more readable now. I'll say this is HA center. Not good. I'll have to actually change the size of this only. I do not have any choice. So this is 30 by 16 maybe. Will that work? Not particularly well either. How can we do this then? So we have to increase the size in horizontal vertical direction. So I'll put that as 25. Will that work? Not particularly again. How about changing the size of this? No, not really again. Okay. Anyway, so this is much more, it is not too much of a problem in my opinion, but this is completely fine. So index value that I'm getting, value plus 5. Maybe I can put something like 3 here in this case. Not going to work either. Okay, no issues. You can keep this as, so this is the plot that I'm getting. You can see that in question was to which genre has been released the most in a single year. Apparently that is this one. This is in action, and that is 272, and I'll increase the size of this a bit. I'll put this 20 by 12 only. That was much more better. Yeah, so this is action 272, and you can see this is in year 2009, and maybe then action one more time, I think 272 and then 265 apparently. So this was in 2012. Right, so this is how it actually works here. I'll take just one more question, maybe one or two more questions. Maybe the question is, which genre game has sold the most in a single year? Okay, so this is year cell index. Sorry, this is data. Let us say data we have. I'll start from the very beginning. I'll say data, and I'll do the same thing that I did earlier. I'll copy this entire thing. I'll copy this as it is. In fact, I'll copy this and put it over here. Okay, and this is, I'll say, data group by year genre. This is from here. I'll have to change. Right, so this is global cells dot summation dot reset index, and this is year cell dx. All right, so this is fine, but this here is not count. This is again global cells, so this is global cells here. All right, copy this one more time and put it over here. All right, and this again, I'll put that as year cell. That's it. And this is going to be year cell dx. Okay, so this is what you have. Let me see the result. Year cell is this. There you go. It has given me an error. Why? Because there's a key error of global cells. Is that the case? Global underscore cells is, yeah, here this is, we have to fix this. This is year cell dx. Now it is fine. So now we are getting again this kind of boolean value. So I'll take this, I'll say dx, then year cell dot reset index drop true. All right, so this is what, this is year cell max. Okay, so this is what you have. Now from this data set year cell max that I got, I just want one column, that is genre. Why do I want this? Because again, I'm going to put that in genre. All right. Next is, I'll copy, do a copy paste again because it's the same format that I'll be using. So I'll copy and paste here. And this is, Y is no longer a count. This is global underscore cells. Data is year cell max. All right, so we have this, and then this one here as well. I'll take this. This is year cell max and global cells. Right. Rest of things, apparently it is fine. However, here we have to make a change because value is in, it is going to be in floating number because it's a sales value. So we have to make sure that it, you know, there's not too much of decimals. Not too much of digits after decimal. So we have to round it off till 2 digits. All right, looks fine to me. There we go. So these are the sales index that you're getting on y-axis, and on x-axis you have the year. So again, apparently the one that is having the most value, it is this one, action. This is 139.36 and it is in year 2009. and second comes this one, 136.39 million. Okay, just one last question, maybe because it's going to be rather easy. That is what we'll be doing. Maybe one or two questions more. Okay, so I'll say this is, how about the Jono game, Jono having the most price globally. All right, so I'll say in data is what I'm having. In this, I'm doing a group by on Jono, and I will grab global sales dot sum. Right, so data dot group by equal to this is Jono, by the way. There we go. This is data underscore Jono. Then I'll say data Jono dot reset index here. This again, I'll take it and say that I want to do a sort values on, that is by global cells, and unfortunately it is ascending, so I'll put that as ascending as false, so that will give me the highest one at the top. And this is what, this is the new data set that I have, data Jono. All right, now I have to take this data set that I've created, and I'll try to plot it out. I'll say plt.figure, and fixed size is something, maybe I'll put 12 by 10, and sns.bar plot is taking x as Jono, y as global cells, data is data Jono, and plt.xtix is rotation as 90, plt.show. So I'll just done everything because I do not want to come back and fix this. So this is what I'm getting. I'll have to fix it unfortunately because just not good. So I'll say this is 8 by 4. There you go, much better. Right, so you can see this global cells action is having the most cells. Action exports are always on the top, but we have the third one that is quite remarkable, is the shooter. All right, which was in count, apparently I think it was in numbers 5 or something, if I'm not wrong. Right, so it's quite amazing that you have shooter and then role playing and all that before racing and fighting. All right, so that is quite intriguing in my opinion. Well, just like how we did Jono, how about if we try to understand that which platform have the highest sell price globally. So I'll say platform having the most price globally. So I'll take this as it is, and this is Jono platform. This is platform again. So just change, wherever you see the Jono, just change it to platform. That is it. That is the idea that I'm trying to give you. All right, so this here is platform. Everything is fine, summation is fine. Let us run this. Great, this is what we're getting. All right, similarly, I'll take this as well. I'll copy, paste here. On x-axis, you have platform. All right, and that obviously it has to be platform as well. There we go. Great. Okay, so I think this is it for right now. We are almost, I don't know how many minutes into the video, but I'll stop here for this particular video, right? If you want, you know, part 2 of the same project, just let me know in the description and I'll create a part 2 of the same project, because there are just too many things that we have not explored here. I do not want to make a video just too longer, because my analysis of creating this video is that if I make the videos too longer, people, attrition rate is quite high. Basically, people do not tend to watch it for the entire duration. So that is why I'm trying to keep videos as small as possible. Anyway, this is it for today. I'll see you in the next project or next video, whatever we create. Thank you and goodbye.